Hi guys, monile walelo nosikumeni muli mwatandala mwaswela mwadzuka, whichever one it is. Hi everybody, Mrs. Kondo is back. So like I mentioned yesterday, today we are going to be diving into real estate. So getting straight into business. What is the difference between owning, renting, and leasing, and which one should you and me be doing going forward? Okay. What is the smartest move for your money? So let's break it down. Owning is when you buy land or you buy a building and then it's yours. You can live in it, or you can build on the land, you can sell it later, or pass it on to your kids. Inheritance, what this does is it builds equity, meaning it can grow over time, therefore giving you a higher value. Okay. Leasing is when you don't own it, but you can sign a very long-term agreement whereby you are allowed to use the land or to use the building. For example, you can sign kind of 5 years or 10 years. Lease, they're usually very common when it comes to farms, mashopo, land, or even industrial buildings. That's where lease, they normally are very common. You can use it like it is yours, but the ownership of that building or the land still remains with someone else. So if you have land and you don't know what to do with your land at the moment, you can find someone who, instead of selling it, allow them to lease the land from you. You still make money when someone is leasing from you. Then we have renting. This is usually a month-to-month or a yearly contracts that you sign. It's usually for a house, or it can be for a shop. It can be even for land. Some people like to rent land for short term. They can only do it in winter for the rainy season only. But you don't own anything, and the terms and the conditions can actually change it anytime. So be very cautious when you are actually also renting. Now, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my voice today. Owning builds wealth, all right? Leasing gives you long-term control of something that is not yours, and renting gives you flexibility. But then the choice will still depend on your goals. I've been preaching about your goals, guys. Please make sure, Koji, you have already started putting them down. What are your financial goals? Short-term, long-term, medium-term, whatever they are. Where are you heading, and what do you want your money to do for you? I'm going to share a few examples of some people that have made it in this life over time without owning. Drake. Ambili, we know him as a musician. Drake, anabanga rent a very big house, and what he did is anaigulisila the same house as a workspace and then the other half of the house amakalamu. It worked for him up until he became this big brand, and everybody now loves his music. He can afford to own land and to own homes. So it took time. Eric Omondi, he rented in the city in Nairobi. He believed that I need to invest in my brand while I am living in the city. So focusing on his cash flow over concrete. What Eric Omondi believed at the time, I'm not sure if he still believes it, but at the time he said, land will always be there, but opportunities can disappear if you don't have money to grab them. Meaning, earlier say they have a moment in their life where they are at their peak, where they make most of their money. So, what are you doing? Are you thinking, I'm at my peak, I must be owning, or I'm at my peak, let me grow my business, I can always own later in life? Ibrahim Mahama leased land for his industrial business. Now he owns a whole lot of industries in India. Steve Jobs, his parents didn't own a house, they were renting, and he started in his parents' rented home. He used the garage as an office before Apple blew up, and everything started happening from that garage in a rented home. And the guy died a billionaire. By the way, Steve Jobs only owned 1%, if I'm not mistaken, of Apple. Everything else was for other people to own. Mutale Mwanza, yes, our Zambian lady, and Linda EKG, they rented for the longest time, and then when they got to a time where their brands were built, they now were at a point in their life where money was making sense, like money was making financial sense for them. That's when they were able to buy their homes and live in these beautiful houses that they have. DJ Spoo, we all know DJ Spoo's story. We've seen him in the streets of Joburg selling his drink. He also focused on renting Guy and growing his brand before actually owning a building, a home. He always says, Kunena Wuri, renting is not a failure. So don't think, Wuri, just because you are renting, then you have failed in life. No, it's actually a strategy. Own your income before you own your property. Renting or leasing can be a launchpad, but it's definitely not a limitation. So these people that I've mentioned, amongst other people, they owned their businesses, they owned their brands first. They grew those things first before they grew and bought or built any buildings in this life. So are you owning, are you leasing, or are you going to be renting? So remember, owning is when you buy it. Lease, you have full control of it, but you don't own it. Short term is the rent, but no ownership. Each one of them has its pros and cons, but what's best for you depends on your income, depends on your lifestyle. There are some things you need to sacrifice when it comes to your lifestyle, and it also depends on your long-term goals. What are they? Are you working towards owning land or owning a home within the next 5 years? Let's discuss in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. I have so much to share regarding real estate. Cheers, guys. Have a good day.